Hello. Welcome to the Bean Cells podcast, where Beanie Boys banter about brutal bops. Once again, I am Manny, and I'm here with my boy Shaush. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing excellent. Aside from literally as we start recording, told about how I've become a fucking degenerate. Anyways, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm slightly less degenerate than you are. I think I'm treating this Saturday like a proper Saturday. I've had a couple of ciders. I've been listening to some Alanis Morissette as well. Very unmetal, but fuck you. I love Alanis Morissette. Like it's good 90s.
I've been very unmetal.
Mate, you can't be a steely man of steel 100% of the time. Sometimes you just gotta let loose and play some fucking.
Being a steely man of steel 100% of the time is not good for you. I had to fuck.
No, I mean, iron is an extremely important part of the human diet, but at the same time, like you can't be 100% iron.
If your whole bloodstream was full of iron, you'd be fucking dead.
You'd be dead, and that would be an autopsy which no one would want to undertake, because it'd just be incredibly hard to take apart, because it would just be like they'd have to use like fucking drills on your shit. But anyway, any fucking way, we are here today to do the monthly metal roundup, which is a segment I very much enjoy, where me and Shaush go through some albums we've been listening to, and I must say this week is stacked. It's stacked.
Yeah, I went full out and chose 9 bands.
I've got 8.
Fucking put on this.
I've got 8, so I'm gonna basically go right ahead and try and make us be a little bit quicker than we were last time on them, because otherwise we are literally going to be here for like the rest of the evening just chatting shit about stuff we love. But I'm really looking forward to what you brought to the table. I know a couple, you know a couple of mine, but yeah, it's going to be good fun. It's going to be good fun. I've been listening to some cool stuff, and I brought forward some things from the past which I haven't listened to in a bit, but I really want to bring up because I think they'd be interesting talking points. But let's get going with this right away. I want you to start. Right, give me your first record. What have you been listening to, mate?
All right, my first record is one going by the name of, the band is Lust of Decay, and the album is Infesting the Exhumed even.
Yes, excellent.
That's not going to be the only name I butcher this episode, I swear.
Probably not.
You know what's coming.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, this shit. I found a few months back from Jimmy from the blog, because basically I stole my entire music taste from that guy, and what excellent. Yeah. But anyways, this band has a fucking funny as shit samples. If you're playing the first song, be very wary, because there's literally a porn sample on the first song on that track.
Yeah, when you first sent me this album and I just pressed play, and it is just like it's a bait ass porn sample. I was just like, right, time for me to turn my volume down a little bit. I don't want anybody getting any wrong ideas.
Yes, yeah, but and then I was just greeted with this fucking insane drum chops, and listen throughout the whole album. Honestly, this fucking drummer's insane. I don't know what's wrong with this fucking drummer. He's got the chops of a madman. Like in each bar, because it's not like he'll do a fill before they move into the next riff. In each bar, he's just endlessly fucking doing a new fill all the time on the tom snare, fucking cymbals, everything.
Always accenting things and giving your brain a nice little tickle
on the fucking hi-hats. Yeah, but samples are good. The second song has a sample from one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I don't know which one. There's way too many. It's the one where
there's a few sequels.
Fresh meat. That one. And then afterwards, just full of fucking good samples. The riffs are there, and this dude's vocals, man, I fucking love it. I think it may be 2 people, because the vocals are so different, because it's got that low guy, and it's that fucking guy that literally goes like that shit.
Absolutely. No, I do like. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know either if it's 1 vocalist or 2 vocalists, but I do enjoy a double vocalist attack when it's done properly. You can.
They do it so well. On the first song, Festering Anal Vomit, there's the fucking
Festering Anal Vomit.
There's the fucking guttural guy who goes like Festering, and then afterwards the fucking same person or different dude does the highs where he goes, it's fucking sick.
Excellent stuff.
We're trying to speed through this. That's why I'm talking so fast.
No. Tell me some other things you like about Lust and Decay. What I mean, I've listened to this album and it is some pretty fucking raucous stuff. What other elements do you enjoy about them and this album in particular?
The album cover.
Yes.
Honestly, that's the first thing that drew this. Like, honest, I saw it in the Jimmy from the Block video, and that's honestly the first thing that drew it to me. Is that an issue? Probably.
No, not to me. It's not. Like I mean, like you see like a woman in a state of certain decay.
She's still alive.
She's still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive. So it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, but that's honestly the first thing that drew me to this. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jimmy put some samples of their songs in, but speaking of samples, I've already spoke about samples, but man, there's too many fucking good ones. There's one where it's like, I like pizza, ice cream, and pussy, and then obviously just fucking drum fills again. There's a song called fucking not backhand slapping. Mate, fuck. Something about existentialism, and at the beginning, the sample goes like, yes, we're alone in the universe. Yes, we're all gonna die alone. But is that so depressing? And then a woman just goes, I couldn't agree more. And I fucking died when I heard that.
Plus, I do agree with the sentiment.
Agree. Yeah, he's not wrong. And in that song, they have a riff that sounds exactly like a riff that my band used to have a while ago on one of our songs. And yeah, I thought that was a bit weird how they had the same riff, and we almost stole their riff without knowing it. But we don't have that song anymore, so it's fine.
Even though you would have written that song way before you knew of Lust and Decay.
Yeah, that's why I said we wouldn't have known that we wrote that.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to completely get away from like unintentionally ripping off other stuff. You know, like when you play metal, it happens. It does happen.
Yeah, that's Lust and Decay summed up for you. Good album cover, fucking excellent drumming, sick ass vocals and riffs. Like, if you love pingy snares of brutal death metal, I know I said this about regurgitation, but if you love pingy snares, it's here. And if you love riffs, it's here. Most of what I've chosen is brutal death metal and slam anyways, because I fucking like rot in my brain.
We all enjoy rot in our brain, and yeah, you sent me this album a little while ago, and it's a good listen. It's nice and raw as well, which I enjoy.
Really do make sure you have headphones on.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like it might cause some awkward conversations with people around you otherwise. But yeah, that's Lust and Decay. It's a good album. It is a good album.
Infesting the Exhumed is the album name. Even
absolutely.
In the description. We
will, 100%. Right. So my first one is another one I've sent you before, and it's a debut from a UK band, a pretty young UK band as well. The band are Pupil and the album is Mirrors. I got put onto this because basically there's a few different things I follow on like Facebook and Instagram to do with metal, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere a bunch of them just started absolutely fucking raving about this album, particularly like the mathcore elements, because I do like a lot of mathcore. Really started going in on this record. And yeah, for a first album, this is fucking crazy. So essentially, they play like I describe it as being like a really chaotic hardcore, mathcore, grindcore, kind of like really fucked up metalcore. It's core. I can't help myself. You know what I like. But for a debut album, this is genuinely a bit mind-boggling. Like, so it's absolute fucking chaos, and it's really emotionally raw. Like, I really feel like I'm listening to people get their demons out on record. It's so insane, that's for sure. It's a complete just a journey into just utter like insanity, and like it feels like you're listening to people on the verge of breaking point. I've not been able to listen to this more than like 3 times because every time I do, it's exhausting in a good way. It's like really. It takes so many different turns, but it never feels as though it's just going off on one for the sake of it. It all still feels cohesive, which is super, super impressive. The vocalist, who's I can't remember her second name, but she's called Katie. She just sounds like a fucking an animal who's been chained up, who is like trying to get out of her chains.
Yeah.
Oh, it's.
I remember when you sent this to me, and I went to follow them on our Instagram, and I looked at it. I was like, the singer's a female?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, no,
that blew me away.
She is fucking venomous on the microphone, and she plays guitar at the same time. Which
that's why there's only 3 members there.
Yeah. The fact that like anyone can just like do vocals this ravenous while playing music this like chaotic and completely like just it's a battering, but it's like a really artfully done, really like considered attack. This album is, I think so far this year, this is my favorite debut album that I've heard this year. It is unfucking believable. From an established band, this would be an amazing album. For a first effort, this is. I don't really have the words for how how impressive this is for a debut. If you like chaotic, fucked up, like challenging, but really like nasty music of any kind, I can't see why you like anybody of that description not in, like finding something that they would really appreciate in the album. So yeah, it's like I've said, like I like to listen to it kind of as a whole piece, so I can't really talk about individual songs outside of there's a track on there which has the title Mirrors Are More Fun Than Television, which is a fucking achievement because it's about 7 minutes long, I think, and the whole thing is engaging. Like, there's never a point in the song where I go, I kind of like my interest kind of wanes or whatever. I'm the whole time I'm just there with this track, and there's some really like surprisingly catchy riffs in that song. But yeah, it's you're just gonna have to listen to it if you like getting your head fucked, which I think we all do to differing degrees. Then definitely get on that. That is Mirrors by Pupil Slicer. It is an absolute fucking rager for a debut. Unbelievable. Right, what's your next album?
My next album, I realise, is probably fairly well known in the brutal death metal scene, but that was saying words. That is Inveracity, Circle of Perversion.
Oh, Inveracity is sick.
I've heard that.
Inveracity are excellent.
They're good. But I think like they're probably a bit more well known than I thought that they were, because I checked their Spotify literally just now. I was like, oh, there are a few more monthly listeners than I thought. But anyways, do you like Suffocation? Well, that's good, because you can have fun with this album. Inveracity's Circle of Perversion is it's pretty fucking good. I mean, it's like fairly like generic brutal death metal, but they do it well. I mean, some obvious Suffocation influence, lots of Frank Mullen style on vocals, like just fucking cupping the shit out of the mic.
Of course.
Using your vocals as an instrument.
Yeah. I mean, in the even the band name, I'm gonna guess they wear the Suffocation influence on their sleeve because Liege of Inveracity, which is the first Slam song. That literally, that song features the very first slam ever recorded. So
I always just hear the vocals in that.
Even now, even though that album is as many years old as it is, it's still fucking catchy, isn't it? But yeah, what do Inveracity bring to the table specifically?
I couldn't tell you, because honestly, I listened to this album beforehand, and I realized I've totally forgotten it. Yeah. My brain is dissipated with this album. I listened to it a good few times. I will admit it was good, but like I say, it's like, if you like Suffocation, it's almost Suffocation worship, but not horrible Suffocation worship. And that's...
Yeah.
If you have anything to add, if you could save me here.
Well, no, I mean, I'm aware of Inveracity, and I think they're really good, but I haven't listened to them in quite a long time, so I couldn't say anything more than that. But
again,
it's one for the brutal death metal heads. Like, if you enjoy your brutal death metal, it's more it's that done to a high standard, which is always good.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm saying it's a well done, like suffocation type of thing, that means it's good, right?
Absolutely.
Suffocation were good. They were fucking good.
Yeah, precisely. No, excellent. So
they were mediocre.
Yeah, no, that's heresy around these parts, exactly. But right, so that is Inveracity with what's the album title again?
With Circle of Perversion.
Circle of Perversion. I'll be listening to that once we finish recording. Right. My next one is one of the ones that I've gone into the vaults for. I kind of went back into things that I hadn't listened to for a long time that I wanted to bring up. And I don't think I've ever even talked to you about this band, even in our conversations when we're not recording or anything. And I think everyone should listen to this album at least once for the experience of it. We enjoy dumb humor on this podcast, and this is the most hilarious, stupid, like metal adjacent album I know of. The band are Crotchduster, and the album is called Big Fat Box of Shit. Which is I think one of the most accurate
most albums.
But this is one of the most accurate album titles I've ever come across, because Crotchduster is essentially a project of two dudes. One of them was in a band, which I cannot remember off the top of my head right now, who were really good. But they basically recorded this album as a joke. And what it is every single genre ever, it mashed together. Every single one. So it goes from... Okay, to give you an idea. So in one song, it will go from like brutal death metal to like a cheesy, like ridiculous ballad to like Metallica to like a shitty hip hop, to like a deliberately shit, hilarious hip hop bit, to like a black metal part, to sounding like Deicide, to taking the piss out of Slayer, to like some world music in the space of like 4 minutes. It is fucking hysterical. I actually want you, Shaush, to record yourself while you listen to this album so I can see your response. Because the first time I came across this record, I was listening to it on the bus, and I had to like fucking put my fist in my mouth to stop myself from just going, ah! In front of all of these strangers who I had no idea who they were. It is fucking hilarious. So the band give their... What's that?
How long's the album?
It's about 50 minutes long, and the album has its own...
Be ready for a 50-minute recording of me.
Yeah, it is unfucking believable. So the band give their story as they are two dudes and a dog on drums, and the album was recorded as a means of tax evasion once, and they discovered that they had a dump truck that was able to traverse dimensions, and so they bring their friends who run a strip club through dimensions in order to not pay taxes. It is fucking nonsense, but it is so funny that I cannot even begin. Like, I can talk about this record and I can say it has every single genre ever on it.
These guys were ahead of their time as well, because tax evasion jokes are becoming really fucking like lots of people are making tax evasion jokes now, and they were ahead of their time.
But they genuinely were. I mean, they yeah. I can't really do any more explaining of this record other than what I've done. It is so funny and it is nonsense. It is a big fat box of shit. It is absolutely stupid, but it's so funny. The thing that's impressive about it though is that even though they use a drum machine, by the way, because it's just two dudes. They actually play all these different genres relatively well, considering they only do each one for about 20 seconds. Like each one could be like a shit like a really cheesy power ballad, or like a fucking brutal death metal section, or a black metal section, or like some crappy 80s hard rock. Like it's all just smushed together in this one thing, and it is. Yeah, there's a certain itch this album scratches, which I've never found another record which can do it. I can't say anything more without spoiling it, because I want you to listen to it. I want everyone watching this to listen to it. It is unreal, but it's so dumb. It's so funny though, right? So, Crotchduster. Yeah, no, I seriously want you to at least record a bit of yourself listening to it, because it is so funny. It is so fucking funny. But yeah, that is Crotchduster with Big Fat Box of Shit. I love saying that album title. It's fantastic. Right then, on to your next one. Give me what you got.
This one I found a while back, but when I did, well, not a while back. A while back to me means a few months, because obviously I've only been into like death metal and shit for less than a year at this point.
Yeah.
This one, I was watching Barbaric Brutality, who are these two dudes who own a cassette fucking like record label, which is one guy enough as the guy from the band that I'm about to talk about, who you know, and they were interviewing 200 Stab Wounds, and
yes,
they got onto the subject of the guy's band, and I heard the section of it, and I was like, fuck me, this is brutal. And this would be snuffed on sight with No Clown Shit.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I've heard this. Oh, mate. It's just...
When I found this, it's two songs of, like, the most ignorant, fucking, most disgusting, brutal, guttural, fucking dumb, experimental, rapped fucking slam that is deathcore how it should sound. The guy Seven, that's the actual guy's name from this band. It's the one guy made these two songs, and they're meant to become a full band. But he says snuffed on sight is what deathcore should sound like.
Yeah, I can back that.
I totally agree.
This band is literally just like it's taking slam and making it like, because if I'm not mistaken, it's one of those things where the whole thing is very like groovy and down tempo,
but full of beatdowns.
Ignorant is the fucking word, isn't it? It is so ignorant. It's just like it's just a mosh from start to end, and that's something I can get behind 100%.
I first heard this. Obviously, Slipping's the first track, and that was the segment of a track that I heard of. It's the one where the segment where he does where it moves from that slimy part to the more thrashy type of riff, and he does those higher, like, audible type of screams where he's like sort of rapping at the same time, and that's where like this hardcore influence comes in, and this rap influence comes in, and there's these fucking police sirens in the background, and I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And I heard the intro to the track, and it genuinely sounds like the guy's on a fucking roller coaster and just going, wee, but in a guttural way. And it's fucking hell. The next track, Outside Dog, is insanely fucking good, because he has another rap section, but it's way more prolonged, and he's actually rapping. He's not screaming at the same time, and it's fucking chaotic, even just his rapping, because he adds like just fucking laughs behind it and shit like that. And then afterwards he goes, and get your whole motherfucking body to that. I'm not going to even attempt it, because it's going to be way too fucking quiet. I'm not trying to attempt it, but it's insanely fucking good. And there's a part where he does another fucking guttural, and he just afterwards he goes, bitch, and that fucking and he has a guttural where it has like a very fast phaser effect on it, so it goes like that with his fucking guttural. Oh man, it's insanely good. And to think this is one guy that came up with this whole fucking thing is just fucking insane.
Did he play all of the instruments?
When you listen to it, I'm pretty sure the drums sound real, the guitars sound real. I'm pretty sure he played all the instruments on this.
Yeah, that I always love my one-man band when it turns out brilliantly.
Yeah, it's meant to become a real like full band, but he just wanted to make it happen. That's why he's only released like one single, and then obviously No Clown Shit has 2 songs, and then obviously released something else that has just 1 song on it as well.
Yeah, no, mate, that's impressive, and yeah, I can 100% back this. If you like that kind of like hardcore influence slam stuff, and I'm a mark for it, man. I love really moshy slam shit. If you like that kind of thing, it's just so satisfying. It's like got that proper tough guy vibe. It's like really, it's just hard. It's the kind of music you can imagine getting your fucking head bashed into, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's lovely.
I love the juxtaposition of in Outside Dog when he's doing like the rapping part, and because his voice is a little bit more in the higher register. He's got this fucking chunky, brutal like fucking breakdown, and he's fucking talking about how this fucking guy's just a fucking clout chaser, and he isn't actually who he is, just being a fucking poser. And,
I mean that is pure beatdown lyrics, and it's like, you are a fake motherfucker. We will accuse you. We will get down on the video. Like, I love all that shit. As cheesy as it might be, I love it. It gets me all amped.
Because his voice is in the higher register whenever he does it, it has like this comedic effect, but at the same time, it's this whole juxtaposition of this guy's gonna fucking beat the shit out of you because he writes riffs that are fucking hard as fuck.
Yeah.
But his voice doesn't suit it. When he's doing gutturals, his voice is insane. But when he's doing the rap, you're like, this dude's gonna be like 4'6" or something like that. No, that you could fucking put you straight on your ass.
Does it sound like Attila then? Like have you heard Attila?
I think I've heard a bit of him, but no.
Yeah.
It sounds a little better.
Attila is arse, but Attila is really, really funny. He sort of does a similar thing where he kind of like does the sort of the high pitched fry scream that you hear in deathcore, and he goes like,
okay, like when he does the rapping in Outside Dog, it's like and you step to me and I'll break you free and I'll get your whole motherfucking body swimming. That's how
sounds sick.
It's fucking
sounds fucking hard, mate. Sounds fucking hard.
That's not the actual lyric, by the way. I kind of just fucked around with that one. But yeah, that's No Clown Shit 2020 promo by Snuffed on Sight. Check it out. I listened to it for a whole month when I heard it, and it's just 2 songs. That's how fucking good it is.
Yeah, no, it is hard. I've listened to it before. It's excellent. I'm gonna have to check that out again. Right, that is Snuffed on Sight,
and I might have to fucking get that shit.
You know the one. Right. My next one is another one I've gone into the vaults for. The one after this I've gone into the vaults for as well. But I've decided to highlight what I think is, and I know this is no small feat. I know this is like nothing to just like throw out there without meaning it. But I think this might be the heaviest album I've heard in the last like maybe 5 years. And I know that you don't fucking say that unless you mean it. I don't know if I've shown you this band before or not, but if not, you need to check them out. The band is Sectioned, and the album is called Annihilated. Have I showed you this before?
About this. Nope.
Right. So Sectioned.
I'm very disappointed.
Oh yeah, no, mate, you're gonna get absolutely fucking annihilated by this. The album's called Annihilated, and it is again a perfect description of the content. So this band features the guitarist of Frontera, or another band who are fucking like a punishment.
Yeah, I know Frontera.
Yeah, Frontera is basically like they're like a mathy, intense, fucking like unrelenting punishment. And Section kind of has similarities to them, except I'd say there's definitely a little bit more of it's beefier and it's more fucking brutal than Frontera is.
Frontera, I'm not going to enjoy it because Frontera is like way too widdly for me to be able to.
Yeah, I think you could get down with Section, because Section is way more. It's definitely more hardcore influence again, but it's got a grindy element to it too. But it's similarly chaotic. Lots of chaotic stuff in my list today because I've been bang on it. But this record is legitimately like getting fucking oppressed by absolute hatred. It is genuinely a bit frightening in points, I find, just in terms of how fucking heavy it is. It's quite long, and I don't find it boring for the entirety of it because of just I can't fucking believe this is a band. Like to the like it's definitely of the chaotic hardcore kind of a bent, but it's got the tone is a lot more like earthy and a lot more brutal than Frontiera. So Frontiera to me sounds like a gent band, but at the fucking heaviness level that these gent bands wish they could play at. A lot of them, whereas this feels more like actual musicians playing, but just playing insanely fucking like obtuse but crushing shit. I mean, it's just fucking unbelievable. There's only one reprieve in the entire album where it gets a little bit like less like oppressive, and then the rest of it is just, oh god, it's disgusting. Again, I always wish I could go into tracks in the way you go into tracks.
Could you pause for a quick second?
Yeah. Mate, to be honest, I need to go for a wee anyway. Right. 2 seconds, everyone. Yep, we're back again. I've gone for a pair. C's managed to get his parents to shut the fuck up for a second, which is lovely. Yeah, where were we? Basically, I'm just going to end it there by saying Sectioned. If you fancy hearing what I think is the heaviest, most aggressive record of the past few years, you need to listen to this album. It is fucking unbelievable. It's like getting your head crushed by a bunch of fucking psychopaths. It's fantastic, mathy, like fucking like horrendously aggressive stuff. That'll fucking do. And you should listen to it as well, mate. 100%. You definitely should listen to it.
I just muted myself because, yeah, I'll listen to it, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Dude, all right, what's your next record, mate?
My fucking... Whatever.
My
next record is... Listen, all right, our house is weird and bedrooms are downstairs and everything else is upstairs. And obviously for them being upstairs, the music's going through the floor and you can actually probably hear this right now. So I excuse that, but it's not my fucking fault.
I can't hear it on my end, so I think you're good.
Anyway, this one I showed you because I thought it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
So you guys are on the Gore Grinder like YouTube, right? Wimstone's on Gore Grinder.
Yeah, my band are on the Gore Grinder YouTube channel. We got our shit uploaded there, which was fucking cool. Got us in front of an audience. What they do over there is great. They're doing good stuff for grindcore in general. Yeah. So you found this on there.
They're like the better slam worldwide. Yeah.
Mate, don't compare them slam worldwide. That's an insult. Mate, Slam World. I mean, I used to like Slam Worldwide, and now they just upload every single generic fucking slamming deathcore band, and it's just like, I like slamming deathcore, but fucking hell, you cannot tell those bands apart.
They uploaded the recent Abominable Putridity album, which is decent slam, but you know.
Yeah. They still upload good stuff.
Anyway. So after watching that, like, I've got like, each time I go on the YouTube now, this is on our YouTube channel, by the way, because I watch videos on there because it's good. And I keep getting like Gore Grinder stuff coming up. And so I saw this one called Hobostew.
Mate!
Of Conception. I sent this to you because of how fucking good it was. But so the album cover made me enticed to it first, which is what album covers are meant to do, and also the name Hobostew. I mean, it's a bit fucking out there. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And, I turned this on. 15 minutes of jumping from grindcore to just straight up punk riffs, D-beat, fucking gore grind elements, death grind elements inside of it. It's just all around, like, everything's insane. Just 15 minutes of that bullshit. I mean, if it went on for any longer, I'm pretty sure your brain would just fucking fry. From listening to a band called Hobostew, and they live up to it because one of the samples in their song, I'm pretty sure it goes like, "I fucking hate hobos,"
which is from Hobo with a Shotgun. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Mate, Hobo with a Shotgun is fucking incredible. I would recommend that to anyone that likes grindhousey, ridiculous movies. It's like really darkly funny. I love it so much. But yeah, it definitely a worthwhile like fucking sample considering that what they're going for in terms of the subject matter. But yeah, you sent me this album. You're just like, mate, listen to this, and I was. Legitimately, I pressed play and I was just like, this is fucking sick. It's just, it has the exact kind of energy that I think a grindcore fan wants from anything grindy. It feels tight, but it's fucking like raw and like unpolished. Like the band. I mean, I've only listened to this once so far, so I'm not gonna be able to give too much of a detailed analysis.
4 or 5 times, but honestly, like there's way too much going on. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, no, you nailed it perfectly when you said like it fucking jumps between straight grind. There's like a real punky element to it. It goes into some real death metal sections, some like proper like dun 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 kind of gore grind bits. And the energy is always 100%. Like the energy levels are fucking the best thing about it. Are the energy levels? It never dips. And 15 minutes, you can just get in, get out with just like fucking getting your brain assaulted by amazing grind. And the thing that fucking like made me go, you need to bring this up on here. In fact, I'd say out of any of the albums that either of us are going to talk about, this is the one that I was like, we need to bring this up on here. So I got this up on Spotify. I brought them up, and they had 8 monthly listeners. 8
listeners.
8 people. That is
so fucking good. You guys are sleeping on this.
No, I legitimately could not even fucking believe that something this good only has like the monthly listeners is in the single digits. That is a fucking crime. So everyone listening to this right now who's in, if you like grindcore, there is no reason.
If you don't enjoy the music, fucking listen to it,
dude. There is no reason. I cannot imagine anyone that likes grindcore not getting on board with this. It is fucking excellent. It's really, really excellent. So good, so good.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Also, because I will be tagging Hobostew when we post about this on Instagram. Explain to me what the fuck's going on with my CD. I actually don't understand. I spoke to some guy and I never paid for it, and he said he's done it. What? How do I order a CD?
No, 100%. Let's get some closure on that, because that's always a bit of a weird one when you ordered something and the payment's going a bit weird with it or whatever. But yeah, no. Please
like, do. They asked for my address, and then off was like, they said, oh yeah, you can pay by PayPal, and then I gave them my address, which is probably a bad idea, thinking about it, but they're in America. They're going to take their time to make it here. And
yeah.
Then after I asked, how am I going to pay for this? They said, oh, you can pay through like PayPal, Cash App, and stuff like that. I was like, sick. And then he was like, all right, done. I'm like, what? I didn't even pay for the fucking
thing. did you pay them?
Maybe. No, I didn't pay them, and I'm gonna guess it's not. I'm not getting a CD at this point. I need closure.
You can probably send them your fucking money, mate.
Right, listen. They never asked for my money. I asked how I was gonna pay them. They never asked for
fucking give you a CD anyway.
All right, listen. Maybe this is a test, right? They asked for your address before. They asked for your address before they asked for your money. And this is to see if you have an address, because they're called Hobostew. If you don't have an address, they actually come over and they fucking make you into stew.
Yeah, maybe they'll like mash you into a million pieces and you'll be their next album cover. You know what I mean? Just your fucking brain just rotted in a fucking pot being eaten by a bunch of homeless people. Brutal as fuck.
Yeah, no, that's. I debunked the buying a CD from Hobostew, or maybe it's because I'm from the UK and they don't want to ship internationally, whatever.
Maybe, yeah, no, that shit fucking costs a lot of money sometimes, yeah, who knows? But regardless of shipping shit, whether or not you get a CD,
listen to this album.
Honestly, people need to listen. If any and all grindcore fans needs to listen to this band. They need to listen to this album. It is genuinely that good. It's like one of the best straight up grindcore like releases I've heard in quite a long time. It is fucking brilliant. That is Hobostew, and what is the name of the album? Refresh my memory.
Product of Conception.
Product of Conception. Fantastic stuff. All right. We're going on to my next one, and you're aware of this album. I sent you this album going, oh man, I felt like this is a gem I knew from back in the day. This is fucking excellent. And you're like, I already know this. Like, I think Jimmy from the Block had already brought this up. We bring him up all the time in this podcast.
Yeah, I watch him too much. He's cool,
yeah, oh man, no. To be fair, like he is definitely a representative for brutal death metal. But this is an album which I think is fucking excellent. The band is Kronos, and the album is Colossal Titan Strife.
This was why Exhumed that brought this up. Actually, this is why Exhumed, the guy who got me into clipping, brought this up in his video called "Laughing and Cringing at My Old iTunes." And this was one of the ones that he was like, "This is actually really fucking good," and it was a gem in death metal. So I listened to it, and yeah, it's a fucking gem.
Yeah, no, fucking excellent stuff. I have no idea where I originally found this from, because this is back in the I found this when I was really getting into like the sort of the underside of death metal, and I was just fucking scouring all the music blogs and like Googling different places to find different recommendations. And I came across this album, and it's kind of never left me, because what you essentially have with Kronos is I describe them as sort of being like brutal technical death metal. But their riff style is just great. They have such good tremolo parts. Anyone that watches this with any level of intensity knows I'm a fucking sucker for a good tremolo riff. And these guys have some really like creative tremolo parts of their riffs. Just really like a real epic melodic kind of element, well, without ever sounding anything less than brutal. They're from France. And I like they put out another. Yeah. Big up the France. France has an underrated like metal scene in general, I think.
Right, yeah. Speaking of YXM made a video called "The French Do It Best," saying that French do black metal best. So, fuck you, people from my school. The French do something well.
Mate, no. Like, French black metal is a really established thing. I mean, that's like where Deathspell Omega come from, and they completely fucking like chuck black metal on their head.
Inquisition's from France, right? Or am I totally wrong?
No. Inquisition are American. There's a whole, but like that whole style of like really dissonant, chaotic black metal that like Deathspell Omega basically started. And there's a whole bunch of those bands that come from France, and there's some fucking amazing ones, which I can't think of off the top of my head. But maybe I'll get into it in another video. But point being, I've always felt as though the French metal scene is really underrated. People kind of know Gojira. And I fucking love Gojira. Yeah. I'm a massive Gojira fan. But there's a whole other side of things. Like, and I'd like, there's some really great fucking French death metal bands. And I think these guys are my favorite. I mean, Benighted are another one. I fucking love Benighted. I know you're less keen on them, but
you need to listen to the right stuff. I listened to the 2020 album. Whatever.
Yeah, no, mate, you need to listen to Identisic. You really do.
The only part that I really remembered from that 2020 album was the intro, because there's some fucking ASMR shit where it's just, and then all of a sudden there's just this fucking noise, and I just make this joke all the time that this dude was doing ASMR, and all of a sudden he ate something really fucking spicy, and it actually killed him.
Yeah, no, he was making some wet mouth sounds, and then his bowel started making some wet bowel sounds. Yeah, absolutely. But French metal scene is mad underrated, and Kronos, I think I would say this album is my favorite thing that I've personally heard out of French metal. It's just got that the drumming is fucking excellent too, but to me the riff style is really unique, like what they managed to do with the tremolo stuff. It's got such an excellent feel to it, where it's like I love things that feel epic while still feeling really relentlessly brutal, and that's a hard thing to fucking pull off. And yeah, I think like Colossal Titan Strife is brilliant, and they managed to essentially their music is really influenced by Greek mythology. But what they do is they kind of like retell Greek mythology from a gore kind of a perspective. So they'll go into a lot of like all of the gods in Greek mythology fighting each other, but they kind of add like a really like nasty, gory element to it, which is just fucking cool. Like that's exactly what I want from metal, you know what I mean? And that perfectly describes the music. It's epic, but it's really fucking brutal at the same time. Yeah, mate, fucking Colossal Titan Strife by Kronos is really sick. If you like technical brutal death metal of any description and you want to hear some fat trem riffs, Lord above, it is very, very, very good. Very good. Right then, on to your next record. What have you got for me? Hit me with it.
This is one that I found a good while ago. This was recommended by 200 Stab Wounds on the Midwest Morning podcast.
Excellent.
I believe they're from the same state, and this band is called Mutilatred.
Oh right. Yeah, good fucking band.
With the album Ingested Filth, or it's an EP rather. Just bought this on cassette, so I would have had it here, but it hasn't arrived in time. So I haven't got anything visual to show you, but I could show it to I mean, I guess at this point we're kind of a fucking YouTube channel. We're not really a podcast anymore, are we?
Be both.
Yeah, and so this album, I'm pretty sure that some of these guys are actually like classically trained musicians. They are actually real musicians. They're not just fucking dumb fucks who are like, yeah, let's make death metal and make chunky riffs. No, these guys are classically trained musicians. So their drum is really fucking good. I believe this is the song, the start, mate. I need to, one moment.
Get your shit together. Compose yourself, lad.
Yeah, I'm going way too fast. I believe that. I'm not going to say the word right. Song, Snap Your Own Neck. All right, I said song. Snap Your Own Neck with that intro riff. And it's something like that, but it's like, if you want fucking dissonant, chunky, brutal shit, fucking put on the CP immediately. And you won't regret it. I mean, their album covers are really fucking good. I mean, it's almost like religious imagery, but on Ingested Filth, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like flying things eating a person. And it's
excellent.
Almost like religious imagery, but in black and white and more satanic. Taking religious imagery, which gives it this just interesting thing. And like, you think to yourself, yeah, this is gonna be brutal. I mean, they have such amazing song titles, like Snap Your Own Neck being the main one.
I mean, come on, snap your own neck. If you don't think that's cool, we cannot be friends. We cannot be friends if you don't think that's cool.
And like, whenever I go to click on that song, I imagine just whenever I fucking go to click.
I imagine someone headbanging so hard that their fucking head falls off.
Yeah, you know what? Because it's a fairly like slow song in the beginning. Oh, I could see yourself snapping your own neck from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, like just check this shit out, man. However, though, do make sure you type in Mutilatred. That's hatred and mutilate combined.
So there's an R in mutilated, not just mutilated.
Yeah, there's an R. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
no. Again, we will be providing links, so you can just fucking click on that motherfucker and bring it up. But yeah, you sent. I'm pretty sure you sent me the spam before, and yeah, no, it's a bit of fucking. It's some lovely nasty stuff.
It's a bit chunky.
It's a bit chunk. It's a bit chunk. But it's very, 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 very. It's a little bit brutal.
It's a bit of all the good adjectives whenever you like brutal death metal.
Exactly. Right then, on to my next one. I'm sorry. This is a bit of me. It's a bit of me, right? Sometimes I like to bring on albums that I'm like, yeah, no, this is about the podcast. This is things that me and you both like, and you know, Kronos was definitely that. Like that's some. This is a bit of fucking me. This is so. The next band I'm going to be talking about are Rowsdower. I think that's how you pronounce it, Rowsdower, with the amazing album title, "The Michael Jordans of Suicide." which is
Fuck you.
which is I mean if you're gonna kill yourself, you might as well do it to a Michael Jordan level of fucking excellence, I suppose. But
Also, that's fucked, man, dude. We probably got the wrong person. Dude died in a helicopter. Nah.
No, that's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I thought so, man. Oh, my brain's fucked.
That's Kobe Bryant. To be fair, those are like the only two like basketball players that are famous out, even to people who don't like basketball, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. But yeah, no. The Michael Jordan's of Suicide is the first album from Rowsdower, and this band features ex-members of Fuck, what are they fucking called? I'm an idiot. It features ex-members of Admiral Angry, who, if you've listened to the the top album, so you'll know that. But yeah, but Buster from Admiral Angry is one of my favourite metal records ever made, and Black Sheep Wool, Black. Oh fucking hell! I cannot even remember what they're called. I've had too much cider. But it features ex-members of bands that play extremely down-tuned, like a nasty sludge metal, and this is Rowsdower is kind of a continuation of what these bands were doing, where they would down-tune their guitars and just give it like just a disgusting, like kind of an 8-string sound that I just can't get enough of. But it's weird, man. There's some really weird added elements here. So there's a lot of like kind of like a weird half spoken word, half sung vocal delivery that comes in sometimes that has like a kind of it feels kind of sarcastic. And there's some really cool samples going on in these songs too. There appears to be kind of a sarcastic element of chucking shit at Christianity going on with this record. When you take the front cover of the album, it's sort of like a church with like a badly drawn upside down cross above it, and there's like there's a lot of samples to do with like Jesus and God. There's also another sample which sounds like like a woman who is not really conscious having sex while a bad TV show plays. I don't know what a lot of these samples are doing, but what you are basically getting is fucking horrendous sludge riffing. I can't fucking get enough of this kind of thing. It's sort of like if you took what like I Hate God were doing and just turned it all the way fucking down and added like a groove that is just disturbing. I love this sound. There's like I feel as though it really doesn't get talked about enough. So the members of these bands, they call it the ouch sound, and it's always spelled in all caps, so A-O-U-C-H. And I don't know what that was referring to, but there's like a whole Black Sheep Wool. That's the name of the fucking band. Black Sheep Wool, Admiral Angry.
You did say that enough, you're like, oh no, that's not right.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit tipsy. It's fine. Black Sheep Wool, Admiral Angry, Noriega is another one. There was a sort of a certain school of bands that shared members that had this really nasty sludge sound going in sort of the late 2000s that I really got into from Admiral Angry. And this is kind of like a continuation of what they were doing, but with a real personality to it. Like there really does appear to be a little bit more restraint from Admiral Angry, which part of me feels sad because I just want them to write like absolute fucking dirges. But at the same time, like they kind of allow a little bit more of a kind of a sense of humor to come through, but a little bit more of whereas Admiral Angry, for example, is just spite for the sake of fucking spite. This seems to sort of have a little bit of like the same level of spite, but more of like delivered sarcastically. It's cool. It's a really cool fucking record, man. I really, really enjoy it. And I mean, anybody that likes that kind of thing, damn son, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. It's lovely. It's lovely. So that is Rowsdower, I think that's how it's pronounced, with the Michael Jordans of Suicide. Go listen to it if you like your sludge. They need, I feel as though that band and that scene, as like generally, just needs some more fucking love. It's fucking well good. Oh man, I fucking love sludge. I fucking love it so much. Oh, it makes me so happy in my heart. Oh, right. Fucking save me before I keep on going about sludge. Right. What's your next album, man?
Did you realize I didn't know anything about this album because I shut the fuck up for the whole time?
Man, sometimes
Anyway,
in life that's the best thing to do. I appreciate your restraint, young man.
Well, I had nothing to say.
So, no, but mate, you should listen to it though, because it's fucking well good and it's very unique.
Yeah, I'll check it. Right, my next band, once again, there's another one that I got recently bought on cassette along with Mutilated because I went on the Scumlord distro, and man, there was some sick shit. So I got these two. This next one is, I think people know this one a bit more, is Hobostew with Undimensioned Entities.
Cool.
This is fucking rancid shit. Yeah. Immediately from listening to I kind of blind bought this because I heard the name thrown around mainly by Go Nilok, and I blind bought this and then listened to the album, and just from that first track, I think it's called Of What Which Swallowed the Sun or something like that. This is fucking chunky, but then after you got these extremely like tremolo picked riffs. I mean, it's the standard like brutal like death metal thing that we're getting at the moment, where it's a lot of old school riffs revival, but tuned down to fucking A standard and shit. Tuned down to Mortician tunings.
Yes, everything should be down tuned to Mortician tunings. Everything.
Thing. And every bass should sound like Mortician, and drummers should get fired.
Yeah, just every single bass
tone. Mortician.
Every single bass tone should just be static.
Yeah. I fucking love Mortician.
Yes,
what do I have to talk about Mortician? Hobostew. Since I blind bought this, I've only listened to it a few times, but like I said, I think a good amount of people know this. But if you don't know this, definitely check it out.
I need to check it out because I don't think I've listened to these. I'm not sure, so you'll have to.
No, you listen because it was in the Go Nilok video of Best Heavy Metal of 2020. And I sent that to you, and you made your way through every album on there. I remember, I think you posted Hobostew on your story.
Oh.
I think it may have been from the split that Go Nilok recommended, where it was one band along with Hobostew.
Okay, all right, yeah, no, my memory's failing me at the moment, but I'll have to double check for sure.
But yeah, no, honestly, extremely chunky, tremolo picked, old school death metal type of worship that is done pretty fucking well.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And excellent. Plus, I mean, the band name is a reference to a fucking Cryptopsy song, so
No, you've watched the Go Nilok video then, because he
talks
about Cryptopsy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to reference Cryptopsy, I'm going to be interested because the goats. But yeah,
it's almost a Cryptopsy song, right? Because the Cryptopsy one's called Phobophile, not Hobostew.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But anything that reminds me of None So Vile, I'm going to listen to it. You know what I mean? It's just it's going to be going straight on the fucking burner.
That. You think a different album's better than None So Vile?
I think Once Was Not is better than None So Vile because I genuinely think that's one of the most underrated albums in death metal. But we will leave that for another video, either for sure, because I would love to talk about that. In fact, we're definitely going to do a fucking Cryptopsy album ranking at some point. It's inevitable.
I love Cryptopsy.
Who doesn't? Who fucking doesn't? Who likes brutal death metal and does not like Cryptopsy? Who are they? I want to know who they are so I can flick them in the fucking ballsack.
Act like they
Oh, I think we're losing you a little bit.
Only listen to the. What? No,
Oh, wait. No. You started lagging out a little bit. Wait, are you there?
I think everyone should enjoy. Fuck now.
Wait, you're back. Right. Yeah, no, people who don't enjoy Cryptopsy, like brutal death metal, they what were you saying?
I was saying I'm pretty sure the only people who don't are the people who say that all they enjoy is the underground shit and don't want to seem like they listen to the mainstream shit. Because there's a lot of those elitist is the word I'm looking for. There's a lot of
they're out there.
But like if you don't enjoy non-self-harm, if you don't enjoy blasphemy made flesh, you've got an issue.
Yeah, like legitimately, like some of the best fucking death metal ever recorded.
At least if you don't enjoy Flo Mornier, you've got no soul.
The guy's that guy is one of the single greatest drummers in the history of metal music. I will not be told otherwise. The guy's a fucking freak. Like I don't get it. I don't get how you can be that fucking fast for that fucking long. He's an absolute freak. Freak of a fucking musician. But yeah, Phobophilia. I am definitely going to listen to that 100%.
The album's called Undimensioned Entities. That's it.
Fantastic. Right, I will definitely listen to that. All right, what is my next one? Right, this one. So, you actually sent me this album for knowing that it would be my kind of thing. And I already had it saved on my phone because it is indeed my kind of thing. We're bringing back a little bit more of the core element into this show. It's God's Hate with their self-titled album. It's called God's Hate. So this band are essentially like they're like a metallic hardcore band. They're like a heavy hardcore band. But the difference is with these guys, and I think the vast majority of bands doing a similar thing at the moment. There's a couple of things. The first thing that hit me immediately when I pressed play on this record is this is my favorite snare sound I've come across in quite a long time. The snare sound on this album is fucking perfect. Like I genuinely think it is perfect. It's raw.
Like the best snare sounds on the Regurgitation album.
Yeah, I mean it's fucking great. But
I just like pingy snares, all right.
The thing is, this one kind of pings, but it's also fat, and it cracks through the whole mix. Yeah, it's fucking incredible. But then what we have is essentially, it's like tough guy hardcore, but played to a really fucking high standard.
I thought it was funny when I listened to it, honestly, because it is like the most tough guy hardcore, but it doesn't come off as uber cheesy because that vocalist could actually beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, the vocalist legitimately sounds like a fucking tank. And then you look at him, and he is a professional wrestler in real life, and he's built like a brick shithouse, and he fucking looks how he sounds, which is amazing. I love that. He sounds and looks like he could fucking like break you in half by giving you a flip with his finger. He's an absolute tank. But the energy of that, just someone who is intimidating and massive, who could fucking beat the shit out of you, runs through the whole thing. And what you basically have is tough fight riffs, like moshy parts and breakdowns played with just a real fucking excellence. Like there's some brilliant fucking samples here too. There's some and the whole thing is like, I really think this is like put together a lot more intelligently than a lot of tough guy stuff, because I love this sort of thing, but a lot of it is, even on a podcast in which we talk about dumb brutal death metal, dumb like tough guy hardcore beat down kind of shit is even more stupid. Some of it is legitimately breakdown to the whole song, and that isn't what this is. We've got lots of different styles of riff, but there's attention paid to making these songs feel interesting the whole way through. But yeah, when they do decide to lay into a fucking breakdown, it's like getting your teeth kicked in. It's fucking glorious, man.
Chunky.
Yeah, it's hench. This album is hench. It feels muscular.
Oh, with a zero even. Put a fucking zero in that word, chunk.
Exactly. It's pure mosh fodder. Like, this is the kind of album that I listen to, and I just imagine like people fucking like jumping off of speaker stacks into fucking crowds of people, and like people starting fights to it. You know, it's pure fight shit. I love it. I listened to this while walking to Tesco, and I started fucking like striding along like I could fucking beat someone up, even though I definitely can't.
Slam does that to you.
Yeah.
I hate listening to slam records in public because I know that I'm just gonna fucking strut my way along because I feel fucking huge, even though I'm a lanky fuck.
No, man. I mean, I'm exactly the same. Even though I'm a chubby, slightly short man, you know, you need something that makes you feel like you're 7 foot tall and built like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. You know what I mean? We need these things, but yeah, if you like fucking tough, like hardcore, you are not going to go too wrong with God's Hate, man. This band have put out one of the best hardcore albums of this year. I can't imagine anyone doing like moshy hardcore much better than this in general. It's fucking brilliant. That's God's Hate with a self-titled album. God's Hate. It's well fucking good. On to your next one. What's your next record?
Okay, I'm gonna do this without looking. All right.
My
next record is called The band is
called we're at it!
Arson. The band is called Arson. I told you I could fucking say it correctly.
Yes!
Arson.
I've been tearing into him all week. So I essentially I showed him this, and he was like, "Can I steal this?" I was like, "Yeah, you can fucking steal it 100%." Partially because I have no idea how the fuck you pronounce that band name, and I really want to watch you butcher it. So you've obviously been putting a little bit of practice in.
Yeah, no, I've like. Whilst you were talking about God's Hate, I've been staring at my phone just going Arson.
Yeah,
it's not even that hard to say. It's just because it's too many words. You think to yourself, "Oh, I can't be bothered to say this," but it's not hard to say.
No, but it's definitely a brutal name. Like, and yeah, if you don't know what the fuck we're saying, it's going to be in the description.
Could you tell this is a slam record? This is not any normal slam record. By the way, the slam record's called. So this is Arson with post-apocalyptic human annihilation.
Yes.
Most slam records, because there's an amount of time that slams can go on for before, you know, either your brain cells rot or you get bored.
Yeah.
And this fucking thing goes on for 55 whole minutes of slams.
55 whole minutes of slams is a long time of slams.
And may I say that I listened to the whole 55 minutes of just slams because, yeah, they are good. And also, I do enjoy slams. I don't think they get boring, and my brain is already rotten, so what's the point?
No, man. I mean, when I first found this album, I was just like really taken aback by the fact that these guys do rely very much on slams and grooves, but they're really fucking good at them. They're really, really good at them. Like to the point where it doesn't get boring because they clearly know what they're doing. They're not just playing the same kind of grooves, the same kind of slams. Like they do kind of vary things up enough. This also, if you don't mind my saying, contains what I think is maybe my favorite funny sample in a song in quite a long time. You know, we love funny slam samples on this podcast. So there's a bit from the Chuckle Brothers, the classic 90s kids TV show, where they basically cut up, apart from the Chuckle Brothers. I can't remember the lead up to it, but all I remember is it says something like, "Oh, are you going to insert yourself into that horse there?" And then like they fucking make it so he goes like, "Oh, you said you weren't going to come yet. Sorry, gorgeous." That caught me well off guard, and I laughed really hard. And then obviously he goes into some brutal fucking slamming shit. But yeah, this is a really fun record.
It's not full of just idiotic, stupid slam samples. You're not in for entirely listening to only cranium samples and cranium slams.
Yeah,
because with the album being called Post-Apocalyptic Human Annihilation, there are samples about it being the end of the world, people fucking screaming and shit like that.
Have you turned your volume down a little bit?
I have, because at the moment, someone's making beds.
Turn your volume back up again. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Says hi.
Yeah, no. So turn your volume back up again. We'll take the background noise, but yeah, they don't just stick to one thing, do they?
No, and the first thing that really fucking jumped to me was this album cover. You sent this to me, and before even listening to it, I posted it on my story, going, I'm pretty sure I said this album cover's sick, and I haven't even listened to the music yet. I don't give a shit. This album cover's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's well like good.
Fucking green, rotten people, slimy, slammed up. Like, if you wanted to look at a slam world ride record, this is what you want to look at, right? With it not being a slam deathcore, this is pure, like, proper slam. I'd say, I mentioned Cranium. Cranium kind of falls into that category, but at the same time, they are a slam band.
Yeah.
And, these guys kind of follow along with that, and their album cover is like the most slam thing I've seen in a good while.
Yeah, it's legitimately just a mesh of different bodies all gushed together, isn't it?
The main one has like half its head split. And
I've also just realised that whole fucking thing I said about the sample is from a completely different album. I'm an idiot. That isn't from this album at all. This is from something completely different. Like, we're morons on this podcast. Get used to it.
You idiot. All right, yeah, but that's.
But no, I know. Like, this record is fucking brutal, though. It's really, really horrible.
If you got a spare 55 minutes and you don't mind losing your brain, listen to Diffenil Chloro Arsen with their album Post-Apocalyptic Human Annihilation. I said that without looking at my phone. Please clap for me. Bow before me with your fucking cadaver.
Giving you a head clap. Give you a good old-fashioned head clap. Well done. Well done. You've done well. You've done well today. Right. Now, you should listen to that if you like your brutal stuff, because it's fucking lovely. All right, then. On to my next one, which is, oh, mate. My next one is, again, it's a bit of me, this. I found this the other night, and I've listened to it a few times already. It's bloody brilliant. So the band, I'm going to guess they're from Germany. I think they are, because the band are called Asenblut, and the album is called Aufbruch, which, I mean, it's pretty fucking German, isn't it? So essentially, I found this band because I wanted to listen to something that mixed black metal and thrash, because to me there's something about that mixture that really fucking does it for me, where you mix like the kind of the real fucking like the stirring qualities of black metal with the energy of thrash. There's just something about it, and I found these guys and they are most excellent. It's like a very melodic form of black metal with maybe with a little bit of melodic death metal thrown in as well in the riffs and the solos, but definitely primarily like a black metal kind of a feel, especially in like the riffs and the vocals, mixed with a real like sort of a thrash metal pace, and there's a lot of like down picking in the riffs as well that's very thrashy. And oh man, it's great fucking fun. If you want something that makes you feel as though you're riding over the sunset on a fucking horse on some kind of a horse of the apocalypse with a fucking sword in hand, this is going to be something that you're going to enjoy. It's really, really well written. Like the production is a little bit janky. I've got to say this is a slight con. It's got like there's a certain thing that a lot of albums, like metal records from this era, kind of had, where it all sounded very like plugged straight into the mixing board, a little high up on the mix, but it does still sound very live. I don't think there would have been much interference with the recordings when they were mixing this. Like, this sounds like this is an actual band playing, and it's really energetic, but really tight and sharp too. And it's just got, it's got what I like about black metal and what I like about thrash metal fucking put together excellently. There's a really great rousing atmosphere. There's some really fucking good solos, some great riffs in general. I haven't listened to it that much yet, to be honest, so I can't really go into specific song stuff, but it's fucking great. Like I've listened to this a couple of times when I want to go to the shop and get it straight down me and walk quickly so I don't have to be in the cold for too long. Oh, it's bloody lovely. It's really, really, really good. There's a lot to enjoy here if you want something very melodic but energetic, which many times I do. Many times I do. Yeah. So that is, and I like this. This band has nowhere near enough syllables in it as much as compared to the like the one you just did. But I can't look at what
I've been trying to
I still can't fucking do it that limit. Asenblut, and the album is called Aufbruch. Asenblut, but yeah, if you want some good black thrash with a really like melodic element to it, yeah, mate, do it. It's well good. It's well fucking good. Right, yeah. On to your record. Tell me what you're doing. What's your next record?
This one I found pretty recently. They followed us on our Instagram page, and I've followed them because it's another band. And it's always fun to check out new bands.
Always.
So this band is called Bone Sickness, and their album is called Theatre of Morbidity. I was under the impression these guys were around like in the prime of like grind and brutal death metal, so around the 90s ish. I thought.
Excellent.
Because they were posting on it. They're endlessly posting on Instagram about like different demos and all this shit and different shows. So I thought, oh yeah, these guys must have seen it or they must have played. No, these guys their first release was in like 2013 or something like that, and the album Theatre of Morbidity came out in 2016, which I do not believe. I swear down this is straight from the late 90s. There's no way this came out in 2016. So you've basically got like Steve Tucker on vocals from Morbid Angel, like
oh shit,
he was on what's the album called? The last album Morbid Angel came out with,
Kingdoms Sustained, I think.
Kingdoms Sustained. Yeah. He sounds like Steve Tucker on that album, and then afterwards it's just this like, once again, this grindcore, but that has this like gore grind type of sound to it, and each song has a new sample. I mean, these guys are so into like brutal death metal and stuff. So I mean, there's a sample from an old interview where it's like, there's this new thing called death metal music that is really making a rise. It's all about mutilation and very misogynistic lyrical themes, and then it just goes into this fucking chunky ass song. Yeah, like I genuinely cannot believe this came out in 2016. I always thought this came out in the 90s.
Is it because of the production? Does it have like a really like authentically 90s production style?
Oh yeah, it does sound like the production sounds like that, exactly like that. And like I say, because how they post on their Instagram, because you stop clicking. Yeah, and yeah, it's insanely good. That's all. I mean, I haven't listened to it that much, but yeah, no. If you wanted like some good grind shit that sounds like it's from the 90s, but there's pretty modern, definitely listen to Bone Sickness with Theatre of Morbidity. Also,
I always want some grind shit that sounds like it was from the 90s, always. So, and you haven't told me about this either, so I'm really excited to listen to this. You'll have to
save this one.
Oh, okay. What are you cracking out? Oh, he's bringing a surprise for us.
Out, just closing the door.
All right.
Just closing the door.
All right then. All right, no, cool beans. Now, excellent. What's that one called again?
Bone Sickness, and the album's called Theatre of Morbidity.
Bone Sickness with the album Theatre of Morbidity. All right, lovely. Okay, I'm on to my final album, number 8 out of all of them. And I couldn't help it, man. I've brought another comedy record, but again, I think this is a comedy album which everyone needs to hear. Oh my God, I can't tell you how much I've listened to this over the past like little while. So the band are called The Hell. I don't know if you've heard of The Hell, and the album is called Joris, a hardcore opera. And essentially, so The Hell are a band I've been a fan of since they've sort of made themselves known. And what they basically do, they are a piss take of dumb, like overtly, like fucking, like moshy, tough guy, like chuggy, like zero fucking dun 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 dun, dun like sort of genty hardcore stuff. But they have a vocalist who sounds like a Cockney with some of the most hilariously ridiculous lyrics going. And they've done that for, I think, 3 albums before this one. But what Joris, a hardcore opera is it's essentially the hell trying their hand at a rock opera or like a concept album. And this is like legitimately, it's about 25 minutes. And if I've got 25 minutes spare and I need cheering up, I just put this on. This tells the story of a man called Joris who works in a hardware store who one day is late for work and so has to get to work. But his boss, who's called Cliff, who's a dickhead, decides to like completely fuck him over. And so he stages a revolt inside of the hardware store to take people to take back their rights and to not be fucking put down by capitalistic fucking bullshit so they can actually live the lives they want. But it's delivered in like a sarcastic Disney movie kind of a way. I love concept albums, but I find many times the problem I have with them is that I wouldn't be able to tell you what the story was without reading into it. And sometimes they're really fucking long, like unnecessarily long. And sometimes they feel like a lot of hard work. This is 25 minutes. You don't have to know anything about the story beforehand because there's skits on the album, but they're fucking entertaining. And you listen to the whole thing with the skits and everything, and it tells the story perfectly. And this album is just fun. It's so much fun. I describe it as being like, it's kind of like a mix of like, that kind of dumb, hardcore kind of a thing. A bit of groove metal, bit of like nu metal, some thrash, but it's essentially just dumb fun, but like legitimately, this is the best concept album I've heard in a few years, and it's so much fun. The story they tell on this album is hilarious. I don't want to spoil it for the audience or for you, but if you feel as though like corporate fucking like measures are getting you down, like you like, oh, I can't believe I have to go to fucking work and do all this shit again. This album's probably
it's it's like the album version, but not exactly like it. The album version of the film Mayhem, which is all about the fucking corporate thing.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I saw it on the Dead Meat YouTube channel. I don't know if you watch him. The guy does the kill counts, and basically, I don't want to spoil it entirely, but there's this new disease that comes around and basically makes everyone rage the fuck out, and they have this whole like level system because obviously it's done in a corporate building type thing. And there's this whole story of it like being one guy's trying to get to the like be able to be in what's called the 9. I think it's called the 9, or like the top people in this business. But then afterwards, he's just had one person come in that wants something and he's unable to do it.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting the virus. And there's this whole timer because obviously emergency services realize that this tower is now infected with this virus that makes everyone rage. And so it takes 8 hours for it to actually, for the antidote to come for people to calm down. And when you kill someone with this disease, you're unaccountable for your killing. So you can't be taken to court for it. You can't go to prison because it's not under your will. You're doing it because the virus is inside of you. So what he does is that he goes up the fucking like, because he's right at the bottom at the moment. He's inside the basement, and he makes his way all the way up to the tower to kill the main guy, and then like sign documents to get rid of this whole business because he hates the fucking corporate ladder now, and he has to do it within 8 hours because otherwise he can't kill the guy without going to prison. Yeah.
This sounds like the kind of film that I would enjoy. I need to get on this. That sounds like fucking good fun.
Yeah, it's got good actors in it as well. It's got fucking hell, I don't remember the names. One of them is from The Walking Dead. He's the Asian dude from The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I know him.
And then one of them's from Ready or Not. It's the blonde woman from.
Ready yeah. I really like Ready or Not too. I thought that was good.
I think her surname's Weaving. or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either way, but yeah, cool, man.
I think it is, but yeah, they're like the two main actors. But yeah, it's a good film. It's against the corporate ladder thing. So
Yeah, no, I mean,
it's the same thing, but without the disease.
well, yeah, no, it's definitely a fucking like topic which I enjoy, just sort of taking like the whole thing of we don't want to fucking 9 to 5 and crush our souls, which is always something which I feel as though like not even just metal, like punk and metal and hardcore and alternative music at large is always railed against, but I very rarely in such a way that's this funny and that's this fucking like legitimately this album tells the story through its skits so vividly and like through song like every song like adds different elements of it. There's a whole song called Pull Up which is about fucking like being rebellious by parking your car in the manager's car spot. It's just it's hilarious. It's a fucking. This album is genuinely jokes. Like I even though like it's nowhere near as metal as some of the other things which I brought up, like it's so funny and it's so entertaining that I just feel as though anyone that wants to listen to something within 25 minutes that is going to fucking make them laugh, that's going to legitimately suck them into a story. So it is very much like a musical, but I fucking hate musicals, but I love this, so it's not going to fucking make you cringe like that Sound of Music or something is. But yeah, Joris, a hardcore opera part 1. There's going to be a part 2 coming apparently at some point, and I'm fucking talked for it. But yeah, if you want something entertaining to listen to on your lunch break or something, holy shit, it's fucking fantastic. Right, if my maths hasn't failed me, you got one more record to talk about, am I right?
Yep, I've got one more record. I sent you this as well, and I found it on Gore Grinder. It's extremely short because it's a demo, and it's a Gore Grind band.
Oh, so mate, this is filth. This is
3 minutes and 4 songs. So the band is called Organ Failure, and this is their 2021 demo. So demo 21 is what I put down.
Yeah.
And Jesus fucking Christ. You've got Afterbirth sounding vocals, so just that really taking the disgorged like cranial impalement burble, as they like to call it, because I don't know, because I made you re-listen to that album, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
Because when I listened to it, I made you re-listen to it. At the end of that album, they've got a track called Burble, where it's just the like a track taken out of one of the songs where it's just the vocal stem. Because obviously every single track in Cranial Impalement is the same, just shit going over and over again with soaked in reverb. So they thought, it'd be funny if we just put a track called Burble at the end, where it's just the vocal. Funny. So Afterbirth do a burble, but like less reverb soaked and more, I'd say. Would it be more leaning towards the burp or more leaning towards a gurgle if you've listened to Afterbirth?
I'd say
Organ Failure.
Well, it's guttural as fuck. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. All right. So it's a burble leaning way more towards the guttural side.
Yeah.
So you've got Afterbirth sounding vocals and like chunkier sounding Mortician. I mean, the bass is entirely the Gore Grind Mortician.
Yeah, no. The word I came away with after listening to this was that is just fucking filth. It's just absolute gutter. It's gutter. It's nasty.
It's only 3 fucking minutes long as well, man. That's the insane part about it.
I feel as though any more time spent on this kind of music would leave you dead. It's just it's too grim.
It would make your organ fail.
Yeah, no, I'm going to need a new kidney on the black market because of this EP.
Yeah, this demo. This is only a fucking demo.
No.
And so I'm excited to see what they bring out next, if they do continue. I believe Drum Machine on this album, obviously, as customary of Gore Grind.
Yeah.
I fucking love Drum Machine sounds. I didn't really like him, but now I've gotten accustomed to him from listening to so much Mortician.
For certain kinds of music, it adds a certain vibe, and I think there are bands that do it well, and I think there are bands that don't do it less well. But like that band knows how to use the kind of the feel of a drum machine, because it sounds, the mechanical feel of it makes it feel so much more like kind of like cold and like harsh,
Yeah, it doesn't sound realistic because I mean the instruments now sound realistic and definitely the fucking vocals don't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nothing sounds realistic, and that's like I say, customary to a lot of gore grind things. I mean, nothing sounds right because I mean all the vocals are gonna be pitch shifted down because no one can go that fucking low like normally, and if they do, it'll be like the quietest thing on the earth, and
Yeah.
a microphone won't be able to pick it up, and the guitars are so fucking down tuned.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's fucking ridiculous.
And none of them use 7 strings as well. They're all like, fuck it, we're just gonna buy 6-string BC Riches because we don't have enough money. Like what I've done for I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah, like what I've done, bought just a cheap ass fucking BC Rich on eBay and put thick ass strings on it.
That's the one.
Tune down low. Tune down low.
Tune low and shut up. That's the fucking motto. 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a fucking. I mean, we've spent longer talking about it than the actual like demo lasts for now. But it is.
Yeah.
It is that is genuinely disgusting. If you like gore grind, which is legitimately fucking grim, then yeah, get on that because it is fucking horrible.
Yeah, don't waste your time trying to look for. What did I just say? Don't waste your time trying to look for them on Spotify because they're not on there. So go on Bandcamp or on YouTube.
Yeah. Again, I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link to both. No.
Yeah.
It's all gravy, baby. But mate, that was a fucking smorgasbord of brutality, was it not?
Yep, definitely was. I mean, this episode was stacked. I don't know if we're ever gonna have another. Let me get it the right way round. Monthly metal roundup. This stacked ever again. I always say metal monthly roundup in it.
They both make sense for whichever way the M's are put around. But yeah, no, this was there was a lot of stuff on here. So fucking gorge yourself silly. Like I said, I will be leaving links to all of these in the description. So if any of this sounds up your alley, give this shit a whirl. Next week, if I'm not mistaken, next week is the Entombed discography ranking.
Yeah. Are we doing AD as well, or is it just in?
I'm going to count AD involved because obviously we're doing it because
I have to listen to like 60 more records.
Yeah, no, this is going to be serious fucking business. I'm going to have to legitimately start tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to be doing an Entombed discography ranking to honor the memory
Petrov.
of the legendary LG Petrov, of course. Rest in fucking power.
Month, right? Or was it? I would have been. Was it this month or was it? Yeah, it was this month.
Yeah. No, I did like it. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the mighty Entombed, and after that, I think we're probably going to do our very first album review, if I'm not mistaken.
You guys all know what it is.
Yeah, like it doesn't take a fucking genius to figure out that we're going to have to talk about the new Sanguisuga Bog album.
Wait till April. Fuck you. I cannot wait till April because they're releasing cassettes of it, and I like cassettes more than any other format. Why? I don't know, but cassettes are cool.
They are pretty fucking cool. Plus, it makes sense to listen to something that fucking grimy on like the grimiest format.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to it, listen to the fucking newest Sanguisuga Bog album that came out yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, I would have chucked it in here, but it literally came out yesterday, and I just wouldn't feel.
And also, everyone knows about it. There's no point.
Yeah. We're not exactly shining light on anything, are we? They're like the hype boys of the death metal scene.
Grown to huge heights now.
Yeah, massive.
Central Media is owned by Sony, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we just going to do the review right here, right now, by the sounds of things?
Yeah, no, we will be talking. We'll be talking about it in a couple of weeks. So if you want to hear some shit about Entombed or Sanguisuga Bog, yes, keep your ears peeled. But for now, it's time for us to sign the fuck out. This has been a fun-ass episode. Go listen to the stuff we talked about. We love all of you. Stay brutal and eat some fucking beans.
Yeah, eat some beans.
Eat some fucking beans. Take it easy, gang. Much love.